Hi, I'm Jules and you're watching Catalyst Plus TV, the place to be to make more possible. Today we're talking about buying a car. So many businesses will need a car or a motor vehicle for them to either deliver things or to get between their client sites. And oftentimes we get people ask us, what's the best method for us to pay for a motor vehicle or to buy a new car? Basically, you have three options, and it doesn't matter if you're a business or an individual. The options are the same. You either pay for it up front or you buy it with a finance lease, which is essentially buying it with finance, or you lease it, which means that you never actually own it. Now I'm going to talk in the options of my preference. Paying for a vehicle outright is my preferred option. The reason being, soon as you drive that vehicle out of the driveway of the car dealership, you're already depreciating, which means losing value over the actual asset. If you've paid for it up front, you're not losing any other money. You're not paying interest, you're not doing anything else. You've got the money and you've got the asset, and you've quarantined your losses, I suppose, is the best way to explain that. But if you do option number 2, which is to buy the asset with finance, what you're actually doing is paying for the cost of the asset, and you're paying for interest, and the asset, I don't have a third hand, and your asset is actually losing value. So not only is it losing value, but you're also paying extra in interest. So you're constantly losing money. So you're losing money twice in this instance. The other thing that concerns me about buying a car with finance is oftentimes there's what's called a balloon value. Now the balloon value is a lump sum money at the end of the loan, and it's usually about 10% of the actual value of the vehicle up front, sometimes a little bit less. Now what tends to happen is then the car dealership asks you, hey, do you want to pay out this balloon value or come and get a new car? So then people go and buy a new car, but they forget that that balloon value has to come and get paid off. Now it's okay if the car that you trade in is the same as that balloon value, but oftentimes it isn't, which means you trade in, lose more money, and still have a debt to pay. So that's why it's option number 2. Option number 3 is the lease. Now leasing is very similar to financing, however it covers all of your repairs and maintenance as well as your fuel. Again, at the end of the lease, there's a balloon payment to either purchase the vehicle outright or to give the vehicle back and get a new one. That balloon value keeps going. Oftentimes you're locked into it. You can't get out of it until you sell up and you start all over again with buying a new vehicle, preferably with your own money. Now, some people say, can I salary sacrifice my vehicle through an operating lease? My response to that is, unless you're a traveling salesperson with a lot of kilometers and you're going around regional New South Wales or regional Australia, and those kilometers are business kilometers, then it's only going to cost you more money because your employer will have to pay what is called fringe benefits tax, but that is what your salary sacrifice ends up being. It pays for the fringe benefits tax as well as your operating lease. So oftentimes it isn't that much of a really good tax deduction for you. In all three instances above though, you will have to keep a logbook. This is just a standard little book that you can get from any newsagent or from Officeworks and the likes, and they're usually only $5. In there, you want to detail all of your trips that you've done for a minimum of 12 weeks. This helps you document and explain how much of your vehicle use is actually business. But remember, travel from home to work or work to home is never a tax deduction, and it's never a taxable trip. It's only from work to another place of work or work to a client to a workplace that would be deductible. So if you're doing long kilometers going from home to work, and say it's 100 Ks to get to work, that is not a work deduction. So there you have 3 ways in order to purchase a vehicle. I hope that this video was of use to you. We'd love to hear your comments below on our blog at www.catalystplus.com.au, and otherwise we'll see you in next week's episode of Catalyst Plus TV.